Okay, am I back? Probably am. Now, you think that in all this madness and chaos that I've been generating the past few minutes, I'm actually stepping down just for y'all's benefit to a small, this is probably 1 inch or something buffer. Yes, I know. I'm bleeding! Oh my God. So I did? I got rid of that square edge part of it. I'm bleeding. Let me get rid of more of it. This is terrible. All right. Dang, I'm bleeding faster now. I shouldn't have squeezed on it. It's not like it was a zit. Dare me to hit that. Fine. I was gonna indirect it, but y'all dared me. Dang. Dang. That's not good at all. So I crushed it in there because there was already a booba there. And then I hit right there and that went fine, kind of. That's still a booba. So that means I lost a 1/4 inch of length and I'm pissed. Now I got flakes sticking to my finger because my finger is draining away my life juices. This may be too weird a video to post. Then again, I am retired. See, that's a problem. "99 broke pieces of flint on the wall, 99 broke pieces of flint." This is just so out of control. This is not even close to okay. How am I going to get turned that over there to do all this crap? I done run out of time to be funny and run into time to be good. I may actually have to resort to the rod of salvage. I may have to. See, back in the old days, back before I claim to have invented the internet and the indirect percussion, it would have taken like 47 years and an Ishi stick to have reduced this further and come out with anything usable, especially something approximating 6 inches in length. But now we have these sorts of wondrous tools that allow us to violate the rules of physics and possibly resurrect ourselves from tenuous situations. You're saying, "Oh, you hinged it." Yes, I know. It's fat. It needs hinging. All right. Hold my beer and watch this one. Oh my gosh, you hinged it again. Yes, I know. And that's not the question. The question is not, did I hinge it? The question is, am I thinning it? And the answer is, yes you are. Yes you are, freeze crack. You sure are. You're thinning. Oh my gosh, I'm hitting on the end, and I was hitting down, and I didn't break it. How is that? I don't know, freeze crack, but I'm going to watch all 300 of your videos 47 million times till I figure it out. And then you ain't going to be such a smart aleck anymore. And you say to yourself, oh my gosh, that don't look organized. Yes, but it's thinner. I will tell you, however, once you get down to this kind of stage, you want to, number one, keep them dang burrs off the end of your punch, or you're going to end up with split flakes, failed platforms, and bad language, none of which is okay. But then the other thing is, you best be having your analytical cap on when you're doing these hits, and be figuring out what works and what don't, because you see how that's all blended together now? That's magic miracle, and it just ain't as visible as that other crap I do. But if you was looking, if the camera view showed my head, you'd be seeing smoke coming out of my ears from all the thinking I'm doing and the higher math and stuff going on in my head, probably even equations going on in my head to make this crap work. You follow me? I thought so. The only person I know that has more smoke coming out of their ears all the time is that guy in the mirror when I look. Actually, my son gets a lot of smoke coming out of his ears. My daughter does too. Mooch never had no smoke coming out of his ears. He barely got anything in there, I think. But he don't have to have good stuff in there because he's pretty. Mooch gets by on his looks. Yes, indeed he do. No two flakes are the same angle, and a lot of times they aren't the same power, and I carefully choose my weapon combinations based on my experience with previous battles. And do not believe for a second that that's not important, because it is. If you work one kind of rock all the time one way, you are greatly disadvantaged when it comes to somebody just hand you a new rock you ain't never seen before and say, here, work this. Because if you've worked a bunch of stuff a bunch of different ways, you can look at it and say, well, that looks like old number 47 that I worked at home. I used my 9-iron on that. But if you don't have that plethora of varied experience, then you need a rock caddy. Yeah, buddy, this is a good rock, James. Man, this might be the best rock I've worked in a year or two. It's a wonder I ain't broke it yet. Usually I work too good a rock, I'm gonna break it because I'm not used to them. I want to just treat them like I do my regular old rocks and just fling them around and act stupid with them. And all right, so anyway, that looks almost like a bull-tongue Simpson right there. Just notch it and be done. That's real funny in a napkin joke kind of way, if you think about it. Where's my little, oh, here it is. Oh, I'm hitting on the end. Just gotta know what you're doing. Gotta know your limits. I think one of the reasons I'm acting stupider is because somebody told me some of the people that are watching my stuff now, and I wasn't aware of everybody. So, you know, once you figure out, oh, so-and-so is watching your stuff, you got to get a little bit crazier than you used to. Get too tame a reputation, people be coming over more and trying to borrow your driving whiskey and stuff. Am I on camera here? I have struggled with this camera setup. I really need to like buy another house and move to get me the proper location to do my videography. Because like, I'm like on the edge of the garage here. The light is terrible. Funereal or something. Would that be funereal? You see how I'm doing this? I got the tail back on this pad. I got this pinched. I got fingers here. And with the tail on the pad and this pinched and the fingers here, the downward component goes inward, so I ain't putting that shockiness into it. And even if I was, I got my hand there, I got the tail there, I got fingers here, so it's supported 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 places. And, you know, if you need more support than that, then you just need to go to the big girl store. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds like what some of the people would have said if I was still in a nap-in. I don't understand half the stuff they say, and I always try to remember the stuff, because I always intend to come home and ask my family what things mean that people say, and then I never can remember. I mean, I remember to come home, but I don't remember to ask. I remember to come home. I'm putting my fingers on this instead of braiding it, but I'm going to braid it too. I remember to come home and I remember to ask my family, but I don't remember what it was I was going to ask them. Ooh, that's such a perfectly nice little blender there. Oh my goodness. That's fancier than a Heidelberg dueling scar. All right, well, we miscalculated on this flake because it's still too low. It is cramping my napping style, and I need to come in on this side, because you might think, well, I can hit all the way across and lower that. Well, yeah, I probably can. Maybe I will. I need to start paying better attention though, because all of these things must soon be sorted out. One of us is running out of width. I never can decide. Okay, so this is going to be tricky. I'm going to try and shoot one up here. I'm going to try and shoot one right up that ridge. And hitting obliquely at that much of an oblique angle is not easy to do. And these two converge, so I don't know which one to do because they're both important. This is really tricky. So tricky that I crushed the platform even attempting it. Good thing I said it was so tricky and not that there was a burr on my platform, which had nothing to do with it. I mean, a burr on my punch. It had nothing to do with that incident, okay? The incident which will never be mentioned again, okay? Dang. The incident about which we shall not speak. Oh, you piece of crap. You know why that happened? Number one, there's a little burr there. And number two, I barely got on the edge and it failed. And that was partially because I couldn't see it because there was a shadow coming from my left and I can't see very well what I'm doing on these platforms. Dang. All right. Now, you remember how I said, okay, look. All right, let me show you something. You know why these are like this? Well, I've got a relatively thin edge, okay? I've got good, James, very good material, right? Okay. Thin edge, good material. What? It's brittle. Okay. So then I got a punch and it's solid copper and it's a little burry and I switched percussors from one that is a little slower energy and more compressive strength to one that's harder and faster. So I put the energy into it too quick for the circumstances and it ain't waking. So you know what you got to do? Well, number one, you got to notice that crap. And number two, you have to change something. Change something. All right. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know. What's the max number of videos I can do that y'all will watch without me making a point? Because, I mean, I think this is the fourth one of this series. And nothing's happened since the second one. That was an important flake. I mean, it blended, but it lowered, and I'm trying to get my balance here. I'm trying to maintain my balance in spite of the libations. Straight down. Why? Because I was hitting above the edge and I wanted to wrap it around and under that little ridge there, and it wrapped perfectly and blended. 99 out of 100 people who saw that are saying to themselves, Martha, how did he do that? He hit it straight down into a concavity and it went under the concavity and feathered out on the opposite side. And it's a miracle. He's hitting around corners, Martha. He's hitting down into holes and coming up back out of them, Martha. And the biggest question we all have, other than how do we get to do that, is who's Martha? I don't know. Martha was some woman that my son was always talking to when he was little. And he ain't doing it anymore as far as I know, so now I'm talking to her. Bang, bang, shoot 'em up, destiny. That angle was a tiny bit off, but oh well. Oh dang, he's hitting on the end again, Martha. real low-hanging fruit here, so we're just gonna do little blenders. And if you noticed, I did not support that. Why? Well, because I know my angles and I want it to feather. That's the other thing I was wanting to show y'all that I forgot. You do not have to always support or redirect with leather. If you know your angles and if your platform is set where it can make a flake go the right angle without needing any redirection, then just hit it. That was something else I want to mention. I'm glad I remembered it. Here's the deal. I have way too often shown support on leather as if that was some sort of magical cure for all napping ailments, and it is not. One frequent consequence of supporting on leather is sinking flakes that end up terminating less cleanly than flakes that come off in air. So if you're near your finished point and you do not want the termination appearance of trapped flakes, slightly trapped flakes, then, or if you're worried about confounding your ability to further flake by virtue of leaving yourself with a hinge too close to the edge that you can't get from the other side or something like that, then figure your angles out and let it come off in the air. But you got to get it right. Okay, you see I just hit on the end 3 times and I did not break it. I did not try and do things. I got a long, not super thick rock here. I did not try and do anything major, but I'm making sure my punch is clean, because those burrs will grab your edge and pull downward, and instead of getting like 80% inward and 20% downward like you want to or whatever, you'll find yourself getting the opposite and wonder why you're holding 2 pieces. I've got a problem here, that thing that I hit wrong before. You see that? Right there. So I got little nubs on either side of it, and I'm trying to catch those little nubs to take this off with percussion when I could take it off perfectly easily and safely with pressure. And you might ask yourself, well, why on earth do you do that kind of crap? You'd be like, because I am a wild child. I am the original tramps like us baby. I was born to run. Okay? So, I'm surprised you even had to ask that. I'm surprised you didn't just understand. And if you'd gone to high school with me, you'd sure understand. Oh my honking gory. Okay, what now? Should I try and just hit all these off in air? Ooh, let's do it. Okay. Here's that cert. Oh, goodness, I gotta come right back. Be right back.